machine here. All right, let's go ahead and start it. Thank you very much. Hello all. Uh, Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is Professor Majed Al-Ghandour from UMUC from the Data Analytics program. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. And you can see the first slide, which is Data 620, Session 1 Introduction to Python and Tableau. Would like just to be sure that hopefully for some reason I cannot see the recording on the WebEx, so I'm using my Snagit video. Hopefully will work. And we're going to share this recording with your professors, Professor Carey and Professor Menta sections, and also we send it to our section here. Thank you for your time to join this Data 620 WebEx Session 1. And before we start, be sure that as a reminder that you're muted by clicking on the button to the far right on your name in the chat window. There's like a small red X just to the left of that, your name, so you can mute that your phone or your computer icon. All right, so let's see. So welcome. Good. Can you see the second slide here? All right, I assume you did. All right, so the agenda here, yes,
Oh.
can you see it? All right, so the agenda for today's session is really we have introduction to Python and also introduction to Tableau. We have about 1 hour. Hopefully we can just starting working in those two areas. And in the first part, we're going to try to write first program, show you how to do that, show you the syntax a little bit, and if there's an error, how you can correct the errors. Then we're going to start showing you how to employ a couple of variables and obtaining user input, and also maybe do some calculation operation. So we designed this little bit to helping you on the next assignment at least. Then within today's session as well, we'll go and introduce the Tableau. So we'll show you how you will connect to your data, how you can save your data source, and also we'll go and have a tour around the Tableau, showing you a couple of terminology and how you can use that interface to build your visualization. And we're going to build maybe also a couple of charts, maybe the first bar chart graph. Again, this we designed it just kind of also get you a good start for the first session for the homeworks. We'll do this session again next week, and you can see we are going a little bit in depth on the Python and Tableau. I will not go through the session agenda, but we have those also as well being sent and with the details here. All right, so let me go ahead and start. I have a couple of slides here, and we will hopefully can send those slides as well with the recording. So Python is very powerful. It's a scripting language. As you can see, we're interested to do work on it, especially when work with data analytics and big data. This is where it's helping you to use this very powerful scripting language to do a lot of work. To go and get Python, you have to go to python.org, and python.org, here's a hyperlink. So when you do there, you go and see the Python, and if you want to go and download that, I got the message today, which is great. So Python and Tableau, you don't have to use the AWS, the Amazon Web Services space. So you can download them to your laptop and you can work with the assignment. And I think the instructions for those weeks very clear that you need to download them in your laptop and work with that. This one I'll try to share you where you can download in the website. Go to 3.61, that's the latest and the greatest. Then after that, you see it's already here in the bottom, and that's where you'll go and open it and try to execute it on your machine. It depends about the version, of course. If you have a Mac, there's Mac versions and other things. At the same time, you can go to the documentation. There's a good documentation place where you can visit that, and you can go and search for anything you want. We can go back here. All right, so Python, it's scripting language that you executed through as interpreter. And I put this just short to show you, to understand what's going on. So you write the code using the code editors. Then you save the file as a source file with .py file. And we'll show you that as soon as we start in getting to Python demo as well. And in the back there's interpreter, that's where you install it. And what's happened, it changed your code to a bytecode, and then there is a virtual machine that's running when you install that. Python interpreters will be connected to your operating system, and that's causing the output for you as well. So just kind of get a very quick architect what's going on about the Python. When you work with Python, it will be interesting to see any IDE or IDLE, and that's the one that we'll go and show you how you pull this and how you work with that as soon as I just go through very quick to those slides. So really you go and should find it on your machine after you install it. If you type IDLE here, and we'll go and show you that later on, you should find Python whatever version you install. I mean, I have here snapshot 3.4, can be 3.6, 3.5. All of them they work, but I don't recommend to go backward 2.7. So when you do that, you should get Python IDLE here, which stands for Integrated Development Environment, as you see there. We'll go through this code, but let me go through it very quick as well. So definitely, the first thing when you start looking for those syntax, we need to have a comment. So the comment using the hash or the pound sign here, and you have a flavor to put this comment either in the top, first line, or you can put it also beside your Python syntax code. The syntax is very simple. You can see that print means that it's a function. You see that print function here, and it's built in through the syntax of Python, and you pass any string or any text you like, and you can see you have those double quotations to print back to you. And we'll show you those in the demo in a second. But before that, just to get a feeling, Python data types in general, there are 5 standards data type, either numbers, string, list, and tuple, and dictionaries. And I'm highlighting those 1 and 2 in red because we're going to show you in those demo very quick. And maybe next session we will touch a little bit on the others, and you will touch all of these types in your homeworks down the road. So here what probably will show you, you can see you start working with variables. You can define any variable you like counter, miles, name, and you put the values, and you put the comments as well. You see that, so it's very clear. Commenting is very clean to tell you that this is an 80 as an integer, this is a floating point, and this is again is a string. And you go back and you print them right away, you put parentheses, and now you are referring back to these variables, and that's will work. So to show you that, we'll go and go live in a second here, but this is where the key, as soon as you pull your IDLE, you'll go File in New Windows. This is called the shell, but really we don't need the shell. We need to have and save the file as a python.py. So this is exactly what you will see. We'll go and show you that, but I keep those in the slide if you want to come back to them later on. So here they are. You put your comments, and you just starting printing whatever you like. And you can also concatenate strings with a comma, or you can use a plus as well, but comma is very popular in the print statements. So you can see you're saying, let us calculate 1 plus 28. So that's the message. then you have that calculation on the fly and you transfer this to integer. So that will be added together for you. You have a couple of variables, var1, var2, and var1 plus 1, I'm sorry. Then you print those together, and also you can change the var value to a string. So there are a couple of casting variables or functions that you can use for the variables to give you the result as well. So when you do this, you should see the same result as there. Alright, so I'll go and break that in a second here. And let's go minimize this here. Alright, so minimizing all this so you will not see it basically. Okay, great. So would like to go ahead and I can see if the Amazon workspace still live, which is good. Can you see it?
We can see.
You can see it? Perfect, thank you.
Yes.
Good. So I'll go ahead and you go here in your start. If you still want to use AWS, or you can, as we said earlier, you can download it. So I'm trying just to show it to you here. So if you type IDLE, right away, you should see it there, and the version 3.4 on the AWS. So you click on that. And this is where what we call the shell. And this is the shell, nothing more than just on the fly. We'll go and tell you executing this. You can see the function already being holding like this and closing, and if you press enter you get that right away. And I spell UMC wrong, which is great here. So we can show you this a little bit, larger font. So I'll go and make this larger a little bit so you can see it maybe better. So let's do it again. And this time I'm using capital letters just to show you, or mixed letters. So that's give you an error right away. It tell you what the heck is a print. So it's not defined, it's not built-in functions, so you can tell right away Python is case sensitive. So definitely that's what we want to show you. If you get like this error, it's very easy to read, to figure out what's the problem and try to go and fix it. So we'll go and just do it again. So here you go. So you can do whatever you want. So it's kind of more variables or math. You can say, let's make x equal 10, y equal another 20, for example. Then you say, give me x plus y, for example, and so on. So definitely that's what we call the shell. You can see it from here, but we're not interested to write a shell. We're interested to write programs. So you go File, New File, and this is now the one that you're interested to go and execute, and after you write the work. So I'll go ahead and just kind of dump very quick here. I mean, I can pull my code, but I'll go and start typing very quick. Then you say print, then you say hello again, and you start typing all what you need to do, and that's exactly what we try. Just be sure we are typing this. So go ahead and say print again. And be sure it's lowercase. Then when you're done, you go and File, Save As, and save it to your directory that you created in the weeks if you are using AWS, or otherwise save it anywhere you want. And we give it a name. Let's call it demo 1, and the extension by default it is .py. Save. It's already been saved under your directory, and you see that. And you can run it. You can have a shortcut F5, or you can go run F5 here. We'll go, and since we did that in the shell, we get this back as a result for you. Or you can close the shell if you want to brand a new shell. So you do it now, and you press again F5 or run. So we're going to generate another shell for you as a fresh, as you see it there. So straightforward, except now we start learning about the syntax and work with that. So we can go ahead and add. So let's say here, try to do a lot of document. So I'll say more variables, and we'll say counter equal 100, miles equal 1000.99, and name equal your name. Then you can have dash if you want, and the dash is just kind of any symbol you like. I call them dashes, and say, hey, give it to me 25 of these. So the multiplication give you like 25 when you go and print it. So now we'll go and say, okay, let me print my counter, and say this is what I would like as a context. Then you can say comma, and you say let me transfer this to str, then let me have the variable, which is the integer. Now it will be a string, so counter. You can see as soon as you close one parenthesis, it tells you all the syntax there, the intelligent, and tell you this is the str, you need another string, parentheses. That's where you can see it's closing the print statements. So we do the same thing for the others. For examples, and double quote, and you can use single quote, you can use double quote. They are both correct, so there is no right or wrong here since they are working. And here's your mouse. See that? Then finally print, and I'm missing here one parenthesis. I have to go back. There you go. Then you print here. Finally, quotation name, and my quotations here, and comma name. So let's say you are ready for this. Always look for the asterisk. You see the asterisk here means that you did not save it, so you need to go and save it. Control S or file save, either way. Then let's go and run it again. And here you go. This is what we got second time when we restart. So this is how it works when you work with variables, and how we can do on those very quick overview for here. You can print the dash now. Let's see what's happened. Then we're going to say print. Go ahead and get counter. Then you have the mouse. Then you have the name. And notice that there is a separator here. So you see print, you can have all the values, comma, comma, comma. Then you specify the separator. The default is blank, but you can have any delimiter character if you're interested to do that. So we'll go ahead and just show it to you first. Then we'll go and copy this again. So go and put those together here. And now go ahead and show you here, comma. We're going to say separator, and let's have a hash or question mark or something between them. Sounds good? So I'll go and close the shell in the back and save this. It's been saved. Then you press F5. So here's the result, very simple Python example. So you see the dash, very nice, can separate your output a little bit, clear. And here's the 100, which is the counter. See the comma to concatenate, but there's a space between them because the default space. Then the mouse is 1099, then another space. That's coming again when you concatenate that. Then you have the name as well there. The next one, we added another dash. Then you put any special character as a separator, part of that print functions that you work with, and so on. Anytime you go back to the shell and say help. Let's see help. Sometimes you need to put parentheses. Here you go. So you have to put, it's a function. And using the old versions, you don't need that parentheses. There you go. So this is help. Give you a lot of help if you're stuck anytime. So it's handy. And you say, hey, show me the print. And tell you there's no print here. No Python document for print. Interesting. Alright, let's see here. Yes. Okay, hold this here. Alright. Let's print. Let's see if we can see a print here. Yeah. And this guy is not responding correctly here. Stop. Okay. So press here. I'll go and close him. Get another shell. There you go. Help. And just say print. There you go. You don't need parentheses, so these are funny. Sometimes you put parentheses, some not, so you have to be careful of that. But here's the syntax. That's exactly what we did today. There's more options that we didn't cover, you know, like file system and so on. You can have /n also at the end, but we covered only this part here. And you can say, hey, show me 4 statements. So tell you how's that, and maybe you want to do iteration. We'll cover that maybe next week a little bit in another example. So you can see starting now getting very good handy information here. And because the session here looks, I cannot see the whole thing, but you can either close it or you can say exit should you get you out from there. Okay, great. So I think I want to do one more line, then I'm done from the Python for today. So I'll just show you print. Then we'll say here, show you a couple of fancy things. You can use metadata characters like T tab and say good. Then you can have /n, give you a new line, then another T for example. So you can have fun of these basically. Then you say bye, and you can continue whatever you want, and you can close that, and you close that basically. So be sure you save, Control S, then again F5 again. And this is what happened for this section here. You see that it's broke with a tab, the /t tab, and the /n break this for you into 2 lines. All right. I hope this helped a little bit to show you what we can do with Python. All right. Definitely, there's a lot to go. But this is just starting point if you never exposed to Python, and the file is py. You can save it, and you You can run it anytime. You can run also this from the PowerShell if you would, but I'll not try to run it here with AWS. You have to go to the directory and you can just type py-3, then the file name dot py, that's give you the execution. All right. I hope this give you a good start for that. Let me go ahead, go back to my second part. So this is the Tableau. This is the second part today. We'll cover hopefully within the time left here. Tableau.com is the way to go. A bunch of documentation. I also put for you the Learn training. There's a lot of videos that you can get started if you never work with Tableau. And it's very interesting visualization tool. And you have a lot of work coming on the weeks that you will use. So I recommend to see those videos, to practice in them, spend good time with them, and look for that. So let's give you just a startup point, how it works, and we're going to do a couple of demos like these, but I thought to put it for you as well. So we're going to show you how to open a data, and you can see Tableau is very friendly, that you'll have two areas when you pull the data, either called dimensions and measures, and those exactly coming from the data warehouse when you build a data, where you build your fact tables and you build your dimension table as well. And the chart area is in the middle here, and we'll see how you can drag and drop, and you can specify specific type of chart that you're interested to build and to work with. You can build the titles, you can do a lot of colors, you can have a lot of worksheets, you can have a dashboard, and we'll talk about those next week, and how to build the story, and definitely those are very important for you for your final project or final assignments. I thought just to share with you a couple of visualization, if you would, so you can see fluctuation when you select your data. So you can see that's very interesting to show, for example, this data long-term employment rate in the US, basically. You can have lines, you can have also small circles as well to show you that presentation. You can fill those as well, and you can see you can specify specific data, and all these data based on the colors, and we'll show you a couple of these either today or next week. Wonderful. Does support also geographic, and this is where the geographics where you can build the maps, and it's very easy and very friendly when you work with that because everything already has a latitude and longitude, and either based on those GPS or maybe in zip code, or based on the state name or the city names. So it's very user friendly. You can drag and drop, you get the map right away. I like the circles, it's funny, and you can have very cool presentation. It does represent something, you know, based on your data and so on. I believe one of the assignments you will do also part to a chart where you can see you can build two graphs or the bar chart and the line, and this is where it's condescending for individual values, and this is the cumulative values, and I remember you have to do something like that, so I thought to just bring it to your attention as well. Also you can do some correlation as well, and you can see that interesting to do that within the Tableau. You can do like a time series, you can do trend lines for specific products and for specific year or month or time frame. Last two charts or two slides, I want to be sure you need to distinguish between two groups. It's called dimensions and measures, and you'll see them right away and when we go and pull the data on the Tableau. So dimensions, they are also called category or categorical field. They are discrete values, and they are such like, you know, customer name, product names, type, dates, and those are very important where you can start pulling them and try to do your design, your visualization, so you can slice and dice this information. In addition to that, you can create some labels from those. The second part are the measures. They are metrics. They are continuous as well, and these are, think about like the sales. These are the price, the cost, numbers. So anything we can do, and they you can analyze them in very nice colors as well. Uh, the data types in Tableau, you can use working with text, date, time, numerical values. We mentioned the geographic latitude and longitude for the maps. You can also design Boolean values. There's a lot of things you can build. So you can build aggregated type, you can build hierarchical type, you can build calculated field as well. But again, just can't get you a good start with that. All right. So I think with that, I'll go and close my slide. And the Tableau should be also here. Let's give it a shot. And I just brought it yesterday. So you should see it there when you have it. Again, if you are using your laptop, you need to install it. And if you go to the our VDA or our LMO, I think the first weeks we give you the license, so you can use that. And if you need help, talk to your FA or me. We can give you the license already there on the web. So let's give it a shot. Let's see. Hopefully this will open. There you go. Good. So you should have the professional edition, and if you run this first time for you will not see nothing here. I just opened it yesterday just to test it, and you work with that. So we can go to samples, but I want to go just because of the time. You can run these and open them. I'll go ahead and start right away, like a file that you're interested to go and work. So you can connect to Tableau, very powerful data connections. You can connect to Excel. You can connect to a text file, Access, JSON, special files. You can work with SAS, statistical files, and more and more and more. So let's go and make it very simple. Let's go to Excel. We'll go and tell you where it is. I pointed to, again, this is from the AWS. I already loaded that yesterday. So I'll go and say, hey, give me this sample. And it's called sample superstars to subset AXL file. So when you work with your assignment, definitely you'll have this data probably prepared for you, and so on. So just be careful a little bit here if you're running with AWS until this been loaded, because I tried to just put the table yesterday, still an error. So I'm just give it a couple of seconds. And what's happened, it will go and open your spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet, here's the name of it, and has 3 tabs. Each tab is like a sheet name. So you have orders, returns, and users. So this is just like a superstore with sales. So you can go and look here, click on that. It's been loaded. Give it a couple seconds here. Remember, we are running this in AWS. Here it is, perfect. So you can see the data there. You can go and sort. You can look at it. Still, you are previewing. You're nothing still in Tableau. You are just previewing your files, and you can work with that. And if to know, this is the total number of rows. You have 9,426 rows, and so on. So perfectly, it looks good. And now you can go ahead and drag it. Where say drag sheet here. So give it a couple of seconds here. Be patient on it. It load about 10,000 or 9,500 rows, and here it is. So you brought your Excel from outside to the Tableau environment, and basically that's the first tab called data source. So you can see now there are a couple of icons I want just to bring to your attention. So you can see the hash or the pound sign. These are measures. Anytime you see ABC, that's where we call the dimension or the categories. Again, measures, 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 and so on. Sometimes you'll see equal when you're building your calculated field or aggregated or other symbols as well. So this is cool. So still you can sort, you can organize, you can rename, you can create groups, you can create and so on. But very cool, you can go and say, hey, describe for me what's going on in this column. So it will tell you, well, it is a measure, it's a continuous, and it is a value sum, and it tell you the domain has been loaded. Go ahead and load it. So tell you where it's starting from 0.99 to 67. So these are the values, which is kind of give you a very nice range if to just kind of evaluate your values and your work. You can say, hey, show me this one here. Here's again, and describe again, and it is this could dimensions. It's a database column, and then say load it for me, and it tell you based on this either critical or high or low or medium or not specified, and you can see the data here catch your eyes right away. So it's a very fantastic kind of first data source screen where you can play with it, and you can there's a lot of things you can go and work with it. But let's go ahead and just skip those. You can split, you can do aliases, you can copy and paste and all that things. If you have another table, which we'll not do it here today, but if you have another table, you can drag this table here. That's where now starting doing joining. So you're joining the two tables together. Remember, the table is the sheet here because it's an Excel. But again, if you can open also, for example, an Access or MySQL, you have table and you try to join. So this is give you a very cool joining relationship. Let me do it. Just kind of shit you, then I'll go remove it. So now you can see that's the join. You can play with the join. You can say, hey, I need an inner join, outer join, left join. But we'll go ahead and just take it out. We don't, I'm not interested in this time. All right. So with that, you can see this is data source. We go now sheet 1. And sheet 1 is nothing more than you're saying, I'm interested to go ahead and build my first sheet. So very cool. You can go and rewrite here and rename sheet. And let's say, hey, this is called sales by region. Very cool. You see that? I hope you can see that. And you go right click on it and give it a color. So here's my red. And you do the same thing for the others. So here's where's your interesting visualization. So here's your dimensions. It's exactly match your table from the spreadsheet that we did. And here's your measures. And remember I told you about the symbols. So you can see there are pound sign here or hash. These are they are numerics. Doesn't matter where they are, but they are numerics. Then you have ABC. They are character or strings, and so on. You can see the symbol of the globe here. That's more spatial data or latitude, longitude. The same thing here for the city, basically, and so on. So this is the area where you go and work with your visualization. So as you can see, there's a couple of things you can do. So you see that here, automatic. The default is automatic. Give it a shot first, then you can decide what kind of chart that fit your requirement and you need as you work. So I'd like to do a couple of things. You can drag and drop. I like just to go ahead and put it more carefully, columns and rows, but you can drag and drop here. So let's go ahead and start with the region. So you go and look for region. They are alphabetic, and region, you know, it's a dimension. You go and put it here. See, drag it here. Give it a couple of seconds here. Then we're going interested on the sales. So the sales is a measure. Again, you can drag it here in the middle, but I want to go and put it in the rows. Here you go. So now we got sales by region. Where the sales by region coming from? This is coming from the sheet that you renamed earlier here, basically as your title. So that's cool. So now start thinking about, well, I'm interested to have this chart talking about regions. We have 4 regions, and we're interested to show our shape mode. So the shape mode, you can drag it and put it in the color. There's a palette here. You see there are squares, and if you drag anywhere, tell you where you are, where you want to put it. Let me go and put it in the color. And now, very cool. You see that it's been added for you. Shape mode, if you can see it, and tell you that there are the blue delivery by truck, express air, and regular air, and red, and all of these are basically just to show you very nice visualization, very cool presentation. And you can see if you hop over any of these, it tell you this is the east region, and tell you delivered truck, and this is where the sales with those amounts. You can go for this central, express air, and so on. I think you get the idea how it works. Very nice. Then you can go and say, well, show me. There's a button there, show me. So that's where default we got that bar chart. Maybe you're interested not this one, you might be in this one. You click on that. If does support, will give you that. Otherwise, it will not give you that chart. So each chart, it say, hey, I need 1 dimension, 2 dimensions, and stuff like that. So let's go and look for, here's tiles. Here's, take it back to that, and make it circles. So now we can start looking for different, I like this one, see it? Very cool. So you can remove that, show me again, it's like off and on. You're still holding the colors. You see it there as you well and saw it. So let's go back and say, that's cool. So let me go ahead and make it pi. As you have pies, or just take it back, you know, to specific values like it. So imagine this is your chart you decided to present and tell the story there. So what you need to do now, you need to just go ahead and right click on it, and you say copy image, and tell you what you want. Well, I need the title, I need the caption, I need everything. Then it tell you where you want to put those title and options. You can keep default, you can change anything you want. Let's just go ahead and copy it. And now I got that basically. Make sure that I copy the whole thing, not only one. But yeah, you can select all, you can select any of these. So whatever you want to copy, basically, you can do that. You can also you can add a caption. So the caption coming in the bottom here tell you, oh, by the way, this is ship mode and region, color shown, details. So give you whatever exactly you did in this area here. You can go ahead and say, show me the summary. And you need to be sure this guy is out here. So here's the summary. It will give you a good story about how many counts in this data, how many sums, total sum, the average, minimum, maximum, couple of statistics as well. You can turn this off and on, and you can work with that. So let's say we copied, right? Or we can go back and say, well, I need the chart like this. So we'll go and say, okay, I want to sort it descending, or I want to go and now you can play with this as well. You can switch. See this? You are switching the graph or the chart as an x-axis and y-axis. So maybe this is the good one you decided. This is the one. So let's go somewhere here. Be sure you are here. You can view the data. You can copy. Let's go and copy the image. And say, oh, copy. So now let's see if we can find the word here. And then, here you go, 2016. And you just open this guy, and you go and hopefully still have it. Paste him. Here you go. So you got that for your assignments, very clean. And also you can go backward and copy the data as well if you want. it's not. It'll be here. Different location, right? Two machines here. There you go. So you can go here, for example. Let's see, we catch it there. There you go. This is data present, you know, the thing that we did. All right, sounds good. So you got an idea how it works so far. You can go and click on this, sales by region. This is coming from the sheet name. You'll say, well, this is 2017. And say apply, then okay. You see, you're still holding that sheet name, and you added more stuff for it as well. There's a lot to go. To be honest with you, you can add, you know, for example, let's see if we can add. Let's go and add city here as a label. Too much data, you see that? So you have to be careful what exactly you want. So I'll go ahead and move it, take it out, and I'll go ahead and have it as a filter. So there's a filter here, drag it here, and when you get that, you pop up with a request here, what exactly you want. You can build your wildcard like a queries. You can say, hey, no, show me everything, then that's all. Then go ahead and apply, then okay. So what's happened, you need to be sure that show me is always off. You will not see the filter until you go backward here and say show me the panel. Oops. Show the filter. So what it does, give you exactly here. Then you decide to make a story about, well, we're interested, not seeing all the cities. Let's say we want to go to Holland, whatever that is, and maybe another couple of cities here. So you get the idea how it works. Basically, you filter anything you want and make it works. All right, last thing I want to do, be sure when you go and save as, you save your Tableau workbook as package. What's the difference? This one will not save the data for you. So when you try to open it again, you'll wondering where's your Excel file. However, if you submit for us a file or for any future work, be sure you got that TWBX, which is the package. So what it does, took that data, Excel, embedded as part of your workbook package. You don't have to worry about it. So just go ahead and dump it anywhere. You can see these are the samples from Tableau. Go ahead and just put it in your desktop, in your directories, in your folder if you are using AWS, for example. And see my documents. I'm going to put my script here, and I keep it book one. Who cares? All right. I think that's good enough. Let me close this. And with that, we have a couple 5 minutes or extra, whatever you guys want. So let me go ahead and open for any questions. I have a couple of chats here. I'm not sure if I will go through them, but if there's any questions in the phone, go ahead and talk to me here. Somebody say I have Python 3.5. Do we need to current? No, you don't need 3.5 is fine with the task that we are doing here. All right, thank you, mute. Okay, good. Do you know if you need it? Okay, good. Any other questions? We still have a couple of minutes. I need a question. All right. Again, if me go to my class here, and If I recall, if you don't want to use AWS, and I think the instruction will be very clear in the next weeks, so feel free to install it to your laptop if you want. So you don't have to worry about AWS if you are disconnected or connected. We have fun last week. But definitely it helps. So if you go to see content here, I recall I put it on the beginning of the weeks. See, and again, your FA will helping you as well. Let's see here. Here you go. So we go to software week 0, Tableau software license installation. We got the license for you, and this is the license that I requested. And maybe you need to check also with your session or your section with your professor. Maybe they have different license if you want to use that, which I recommend, because we request for a specific number for every license. So this is my section license, in other words. Otherwise, you can use the AWS Tableau. It's not bad. I mean, we saw it's running smoothly without any issues. Python, you have also choices. You can install it, and if you need help, we love to helping you, but it should be straightforward. It's set up as a wizard, and be sure you download the correct version if there's a 32 or 64 on your Windows. Alright, so with that, any questions? We still have a couple of minutes here. Any questions? Do you use PY Dev or P Charm? I use PY Charm, and it's very fantastic because you can do unit tests, and also it's very nice GUI. Definitely I recommend it for a professional, but we are not asking you to do any of this for the assignment. Just use, if you don't mind, the IDLE as we show you here. Good question. I don't see any questions in the chart, in the chat as well. I hope this is helpful, so we can go further and further in the code, but I want just to give you a good start. So we'll plan to do hopefully next week. We can go a little bit in depth on the Python, so we can show you how you can do some calculation as well, which we did a little bit, and also maybe how you can read a file and write to a file. And for Tableau, definitely we will go and show you how you build your dashboard and story. So you see the charts, it's fantastic. Now you can start and you can pick it up easily with that. Alright, I'll give another chance. If there's any question, please unmute and hit us with the questions. The chat, let me see if I can we download the Python package to W, or we locked to doing that? I'm not sure. I think probably you are blocked, but give it a shot. The question, can I download more packages on the AWS, or we blocked? So I'm not sure if we have a full admin on that, but interesting to see that. All right, so I think my my AWS took me out here. With that, if there's no question, it's about 8:01. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this quick session, and we will figure out this video that I installed it here, recorded, so we can send you either the video itself or a link. And I appreciate your patience in this, and if there's no other comments before we close, thank you very much, and keep good question and keep good hard work, and I appreciate everybody, and hopefully see you next week with the same time, and hopefully we can go in depth a little bit. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Thanks for all.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.